If we could get everybody to sit down, please, we'll get started. We could get our students to go ahead and stage. We're ready to get started. All right, good evening, and thank you very much for coming tonight. Could I get everybody to rise, please? Post colors.
Attention! Right, face.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
93, right, face. 93, be seated.
Good evening. My name is Scott Atkinson. I'm the Assistant Director of Public Safety, and I'm also the Paramedic Program Director here at Mount San Antonio College. It's my privilege to welcome you tonight to the graduation of the 93rd Paramedic Academy. But before we get started, I'd like to recognize a few in attendance tonight. Could I get all active or retired members of the military to please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your service. Could I have all active members of law enforcement, emergency medical services, or the fire service also stand and be recognized? Yeah. Also, thank you for your service. And finally, could I get all students that have graduated from the Mount San Antonio Paramedic Academy to stand, please? Yeah. It's a pleasure to see that we still have people coming back for our graduations that have already been through the program. I'd also like to recognize some of our important dignitaries from our college. First of all, our Interim Dean of Technology and Health, Sarah Plazetz. I'd also like to recognize our professional staff here at the Training Academy. It's important to know that these are your staff members that help train your student. First off, I'd like to recognize our Director of Public Safety Programs, Chief Ray Mozak. One of our professors from the program, Professor David Ma. Another professor from our program, Professor Frank Bramila. I'd also like to recognize our administrative staff. Now, these are the people that make things happen behind the scenes, and we all know that that doesn't happen unless we have staff like one of the people I'm about to recognize. Our administrative specialist number 4, Michelle Navarro. Administrative Specialist 2, Tracy Chen. And do I have any professional experts that assist in training our students out in the audience tonight? No? Okay, so we'd also just like to know that it takes a lot of different professors, training staff, and administrative staff to make this program happen, and we are just so grateful that we could not do it without them. So I'd just like one round of applause for everybody that's been involved in our program and helps train your student. So as we get started tonight, I'd like to introduce and have Chief Ray Mozak come up. He's our Public Safety Director. He's my colleague and also a mentor to me as well. I've been here for about a year now, and Chief Mozak has been inspirational in getting me into this new position, and I'd like to call up Chief Mozak to say a few words.
Thank you, Chief Atkinson. I'd like to address the class. To the 93rd Paramedic Academy class, congratulations. I'm extremely proud of you and your accomplishments over the last 16 weeks. Over the course of the Paramedic Academy, you have endured intense academic training, long days, and mastered many skills in what seems like nonstop testing and evaluation. For enduring all this, you should be commended. The Paramedic Academy is undoubtedly an experience you will never forget. It has changed you. You now have the foundation to become an exceptional paramedic. Class 93, you're at the doorstep of starting your careers. You have demonstrated that you have what it takes to be part of one of the greatest professions in the world. A profession where you put others before yourself. A profession of honor, courage, compassion, loyalty, honesty, sacrifice, and above all, service. You'll be called upon to help people when they're having the worst days of their lives. People call 911 because they need your help. It's your job to make a difference. Failure is not an option. This profession comes with an awesome responsibility, the responsibility to conduct yourself in a manner that instills trust and respect from the public you serve. Academy Class 93, you have completed a significant milestone on your journey to making your career goals a reality. If you live life to the highest ethical standard and the highest moral compass, you'll be successful in your pursuit of your career goals. One of the most important things to remember, however, is that none of you would be here today without the people behind you supporting you, like your family, your friends, academy instructors, professors, and your peers. Be proud of your accomplishments, but recognize those that supported you through the process. You did not do it alone. You have the opportunity to have a positive effect on the public you serve, to change lives and give hope. People are counting on you. It is a privilege to work in public safety, to serve the community, and make a difference in the lives you touch. So where do you go from here? Well, continue your education, volunteer in your community, maintain your physical fitness, network with your peers, Your hard work and perseverance will pay off. You know what you must do, and you have demonstrated that you have the heart to make the dreams come true. In closing, I would like to leave you with these last thoughts. Thank the people who supported you through the process. The way you feel tonight, reaching this important milestone, is the way you should feel every day of your career. Once you achieve your goal, do not take it for granted. It is a privilege and honor to serve the public working in public safety. Finally, remember, Chief Atkinson, myself, your professors, staff, all here at Mount San Antonio College will always be here for you. We'll assist you if you need assistance with resumes. We'll write a letter of recommendation for you. We'll have mock interviews for you, whatever you need to get that job. It's not over for us. We'll be here to the end. You are always welcome here, and we continue to do our part to realize your career goal. Please be safe in all your endeavors, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Mozak. Also, each year and each graduation, we have a keynote speaker, somebody that is inspirational within the community of EMS, somebody that's been there, been through it, and seen it. Tonight, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker for this evening. It's Deputy Chief Jeremy Alt. Chief Alt's been with the Chino Valley Fire District since 2000 and has over 25 years of experience in the fire service. Prior to working at Chino Valley Fire District, he worked for the city of Colton as a firefighter paramedic. He has served as a firefighter paramedic, a captain, a training captain, a battalion chief, and is currently the deputy chief of emergency medical services and training for the district. Chief Alt graduated from the Mount SAC EMT program, and he also graduated from the Mount SAC Paramedic class 22, in 1995 as a valedictorian. He has an associate science degree in fire technology and emergency medical technology from Mount SAC, a bachelor of science degree from organizational leadership from the Columbia Southern University. Emergency medicine has been a big part of Chief Alt's career. He's been an advanced cardiac life support instructor, basic life support instructor, basic trauma life support instructor, and the designated infectious control officer, as well as a preceptor to many paramedic students. And yes, he still is a paramedic after 27 years. He has served on the many EMS committees, both locally and at the state level, and also served on the San Bernardino County Incident Management COVID team when the early start of the pandemic broke out. On a personal note, Chief Alt and I served together as training officers, battalion chiefs, and deputy chiefs when I worked for the fire district prior to my retirement. And one interesting fact, Chief Alt and I even shared an office together when he was the EMS training officer and I was the suppression training officer. It's my honor to introduce my colleague and good friend, Jeremy Alt.
I, Jeremy Alt, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. For those of you that enter into public service, and in fact in just a few minutes, you may swear this oath of allegiance. But have you ever taken a moment to consider just what is it that you're swearing to? In fact, what does it mean to solemnly swear? And what does it mean to well and faithfully discharge your duties? Webster's dictionary defines solemnly as marked by a grave sedateness and earnest sobriety, and to swear as to assert as true or promise under oath. I learned how to define well and faithfully discharge my duties here in the Mount SAC Paramedic Program. You see, I began my career in EMS about 30 years ago here at Mount SAC. I was one of the proud few that completed Class 22. There were 7, actually. This is where I was introduced to the concept that a minimum 80% score was required on every quiz and test, or you would be released from the program. That was a shock to many, myself included. Our principal instructor, many of you may know who that is, made the point that if you pass with an 80%, that means that 20% of the calls you respond on, you won't know how to properly treat those patients. Personally, this impacted me in a significant way and opened my eyes to the pursuit of excellence. I began to imagine myself as the paramedic on scene of the call that I got wrong. What if the call was a complicated delivery? What if the patient had CHF and I wasn't really good at listening to lung sounds? It was at this point I knew what I needed to do. I committed myself to seeking excellence in everything I do, especially in my career as a paramedic. I made a choice. I solemnly swore to well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I entered. And I spent the last 30 years of my career studying the 20%, always seeking to improve and striving for excellence. So what does it mean to pursue excellence as a paramedic? I can tell you what it's not. It's not thinking so highly of yourself that you become arrogant and complacent. Arrogance and complacency are a paramedic's 2 greatest enemies. If you aren't watching out for them, they can show up on scene and take a hold of you. And that's not good, and it doesn't end well for anyone. No, in my humble opinion, this is what it means to pursue excellence as a paramedic. First, remember that we are in the people business. That means in order to serve our patients with excellence, we need to care about them before we care for them. A paramedic that has the best intubation technique and is an ace at pathophys, but is mean to patients and coworkers, is a bad medic. Also remember that the patient's family are also patients. They benefit from kindness and compassion too. Seeking excellence is important in both the technical and the interpersonal skill side of being a paramedic. Second, you may have heard the proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Experience says it is better to go far, so go together. This career will provide you with some of the most amazing opportunities to see and do amazing things. It will also expose you to some of life's greatest tragedies. You will literally witness firsthand someone else's worst day every day. But you aren't alone. You're part of a community. Be good to those that work alongside you. You're on the same team. Rely on each other. Be there for each other. Utilize support networks, peer counselors, and talk to counselors. I have, and I should have done it sooner. Go together. You will go farther. And last but not least, care for yourself and your family. You cannot pour into anyone else if your cup is empty. That means if you want to seek excellence as a paramedic, you need to care for yourself and for your family. Fill your cup. Continue your education. Work hard, but also take time to rest. Be present with your family. The overtime is great. You may not know what overtime is yet, but you will. But nobody says on their deathbed, I wish I could have owned just one more diesel truck. No, what they say is, I wish I would have spent more time with my family, my spouse, my kids, my loved ones. So don't wait. Be present with your loved ones and family now and throughout your entire career. Our profession has a way of pulling us in and away from our families if we let it. So don't let it. Take care of yourself and your family. So there you go. 3 strategies to pursuing excellence as a paramedic. Now, don't raise your hands, okay? But how many of you pass this program with an 80%? Or maybe a little bit more? Sounds to me like you have some work to do, like we all do. Don't stop. Study the other 20% like someone's life depends on it, because it does. And if you have the honor to swear that solemn oath I read earlier, listen to the words and then live up to your promise to well and faithfully discharge your duties with excellence. Congratulations.
Jason, go ahead and check response from the patient.
Copy that. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Check a pulse.
No throttle pulse.
Start CPR.
Copy that.
Andreas, go ahead and get a BVM, size of an OPA. Luzardo, let's go ahead and get time going and establish an IV, please. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is a witness full arrest, and we are beginning CPR. A cardiac arrest is when the heart has stopped all electrical activity, and therefore we must do CPR or cardiovascular pulmonary resuscitation. So we have Jason here doing compressions. We have Andreas going to establish an airway. Kenneth will be putting on the pads, and we're going to constantly keep track of everything that we're doing. We're going to establish IV access and give a drug called epinephrine to restart the heart. So once we size up the OPA, let's go ahead and ventilate. And every 2 minutes or 5 cycles, we will be switching out just for fatigue and also to have good compliance with compressions. Andreas, once you start bagging, let me know how the compliance is. Kenneth, go ahead and set up an ET tube for advanced airway. Let's go ahead and spike a bag and let me know when the IV is established. Guys, trying to monitor.
Back compliance on the airway.
Back compliance? Okay. Yep. Kenneth, start with an ET tube, please. So CPR is one of the first line things that we are taught as a community, and we strongly advise everyone to learn CPR, because just moments and seconds can mean a matter of life or death.
Moved on board. 2-minute mark.
Okay.
30 seconds left. All right.
So after 30 seconds, we're going to go ahead and do a pulse check, and we're going to see if there's any shockable rhythms. If there's no shockable rhythms, we will continue CPR. If there is a shockable rhythm, we will begin to defib the patient.
Questions in 3, 2, 1, go ahead.
All right.
So, no pulse. So the rhythm that we're seeing is VFib. So we're going to go ahead and charge the monitor to 200 joules. Continue CPR. Go ahead and clear the patient.
I'm clear. Everybody clear. I'm clear. You're clear. All clear. Shocky and out. All right. Resume compressions.
What's the rhythm?
So that is the monitor.
Copy that. Go ahead and continue CPR. Lizardo, go ahead and push epinephrine, please.
Got it.
So now we're in a rhythm of asystole, which means it is a flat line and there's no electrical activity. So we will continue CPR.
All right, one of MP's on board.
We're going to continue our cycle of CPR and reassess for any changes of rhythm, or if we got return to spontaneous circulation or ROSC. Let's go ahead and stop CPR. Pulse check.
Pulse present.
What's the rhythm?
Like sinus tach monitor.
So we do have pulses back, and we do have a regular rhythm, a sinus tachycardia or a fast heart rate. So we're going to go ahead and get a full set of vitals and transport the patient to a cardiac center. We're going to reassess every 5 minutes, and we're going to keep the patient on an airway as needed or a non-rebreather mask. We're going to transport the patient license sirens or code 3 transport and monitor vitals and reassess the patient. So go ahead and get them loaded up and go through to the hospital.
Good job, Squad 2. So, folks, we want to have a treat for you folks so you can see what we put your students through, or your actual, your sons and daughters here. Every class we do this. It's called scenario-based training. This is the closest we can make it, most stressful time, as close as possible for a normal scene. So when they go out for their internship, no matter if it's on an ambulance or a fire department, and they have a seasoned medic watching over them, they already have a good idea what the actual stress is going to come when they come to that actual call for that worst case scenarios every single time. So it's now not seeing it the first time with a real actual patient. They're seeing it with us for the actual 10 and 11 weeks that they are with us. Very stressful. We just want to show you a little taste of it. I hope you enjoyed it. It wasn't really supposed to be like for a show, but I want you to see what we put your actual, these students together and what type of stress we have put on them all this time. With that, Class 93, I'm proud of you. This is where you guys become the mentors. You keep moving on. Do not stop learning. That is the secret of this actual career. You've heard from all the other experienced people that came up here and talked today. Thank you very much.
So during the time when they're in didactic, which is about 16 weeks, we have a healthy competition. Each company consists of 6 individuals from the class, and they compete against each other. And that competition includes an inspection that they do weekly on uniforms. It also includes their grades and an assessment by their professors. This year, Company 2 ended up becoming the lead company, and they won that top company award. And a majority of those members that were up here today, that's the honor that they get to do, is to do that in front of their family and friends. So congratulations to Company 2, and thank you to you guys. That was fantastic. Now we just witnessed a small sampling of what a paramedic faces in the community, but we'd like to share with you the rigors of the academic side of the program. And with that, I'd like to call up Professor David Ma to share that with you.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome, and I thank each and every one of you sitting here in the audience, because really you were the ones that supported each and every one of the students sitting in front of us right now. So, as a fellow graduate of Paramedic Class 75, I know just how hard this program is. I went and got a bachelor's from UCLA. I got a master's in education, and then I went to paramedic school. And let me tell you, all the things that I have done in my education, paramedic school is by far the hardest thing that I have done. And each and every one of these students has gone through that same exact process. So be proud of what you have accomplished sitting here as graduates today. So just to give you an idea of how much these students had to go through, if you've talked to any of them, their life for the last 10 to 12 months has been paramedic school. Of all the different components, the didactic or the classroom time is probably the most intense part. It was a full-time job for them. Monday to Friday, they were here from 8 a.m., sometimes a little bit earlier, all the way until 4 p.m. Then they had to fight traffic on the way home. It was their full-time job. In seat, we recorded about 560 hours of them in our classroom, sitting in front of one of the instructors or doing skills, things like that. With all that classroom time, they also had to take a number of quizzes. We're looking at somewhere around 20 different quizzes. They have answered in the ballpark of 1,300 multiple choice questions, fill-in questions, rhythm identification, you name it, they had to go through that. All of those exams had to have a minimum of 80% to pass. So it was quite a lot of material that they had to cover. In addition to that 560 hours in seat, they had to complete 160 hours at their clinical sites at the hospitals, ranging anywhere from the ER to a rotation for labor and delivery, a rotation at the pediatric center. We used chalk as well. From there, they put all that stuff together, and then we sent them out to our field internship. This is sometimes at the fire department, sometimes at AMR or a different ambulance company. They completed 480 hours at a minimum during their field internship. The total training time that they had through our program is around 1,200 hours. That is not an insignificant amount. So be proud of everything that they have accomplished. Now 93. A round of applause for Shorty. Now 93. You may want to breathe a sigh of relief right now because you're here. This is your graduation. You're done, right? Not quite. The bad news is that this is just the beginning. You are what we call baby paramedics at this point, right? You've just finished, you're getting sent out there. We were holding your hands for a majority of that training there. You always had someone over your shoulder watching you, making sure you were doing everything appropriately. But the bad news is that we're not going to be there to hold your hands anymore. You guys learned to crawl here, take your first few steps, and just like the training wheels, they're coming off. We're letting go. So now you guys are going to be the ones that are the top of the pre-hospital care hierarchy. You are the medical authority out there. You are going to be making life and death decisions for your patients. So you need to figure out how to run. Keep learning, just like everyone else is saying. Seek out mentors. Seek out people that are more experienced. Learn, keep learning, and become leaders on your own. So paramedic school can open many doors, but wherever you go from here in your careers, just know that you'll always have a home here at Mount SAC. Congratulations, 93.
Thank you, Professor Ma. So along with the program, we also have leadership opportunities. When the students come in, they look for opportunities to serve in some different roles. And those roles include captains as well as the battalion chief. The Paramedic Academy's well-being and performance are enhanced with good leadership. Leadership in the Academy is a volunteer position and comes with a lot of responsibility. There are 4 captains, along with the top spot in the Academy, the battalion chief position. The students volunteer and interview for these positions. The battalion chief position is an essential part of the Academy. They're responsible to communicate and coordinate with Academy leadership, provide support to their cohort, and lead through good and tough times. The Class 93 Battalion Chief has been an inspirational leader to this class, and he's also looking at currently at several departments and opportunities for his future. He's currently in backgrounds for a local department here for a firefighter paramedic position. Our 93rd Academy Battalion Chief is Chief Philip Muir.
Thank you, Chief. Good evening, and welcome everyone to the 93rd Paramedic Academy Class 93. It is my pleasure to say thank you to all our friends and family who have supported us through this journey. We would not be where we are today without your support and reassurance. We as the students have endured a long year of training that included our didactic portion, our in-hospital experience, and our paramedic internship. We were all nervous students coming into this program, not knowing what was to come. All we did know was that it was not going to be easy. We made it through with consistent studying, stressful scenarios, and for most of us, dangerous levels of caffeine in our systems. Our didactic portion started as a quiet, nervous group of individuals, but over time, we began to trust and laugh with one another. By the halfway point, we were watching movies with each other during lunch. Some others were playing hacky sack. Some were studying. Some were taking a nap. All to alleviate the thought of upcoming stressful tests. And by the end of it, we just about knew each other's bank account informations. We knew how broke each other were. It was getting bad. The days of didactic were long and overwhelming with information, and as mentally draining as it was in class, there was still homework, assignments that we needed to take care of at home. On Fridays, we raised the colors at 7 a.m., followed up with the uniform inspection exhibiting the high standard of the Paramedic Academy. I wouldn't trade my experience with 93 for anything. Looking back at it, it was tough, but we had a lot of fun along the way. I want to say thank you to our instructors for your knowledge and guidance. Your shared experiences and outrageous calls will be engraved in our minds forever. It was also because of you that we are graduating today. Thank you. As for 93, this is just the beginning. Doors of opportunity have now opened for us. Whether you decide to go fire, in-hospital setting, law enforcement, I know you will make a difference in your communities. We are now the leaders on scene, and there are high expectations and responsibilities that come with this work. This program has prepared us to think quick on our feet and have the perseverance to overcome challenging situations out in the field. With your hard work and dedication to our craft, we now have accomplished our goal of overcoming paramedic school. We are now one step closer to achieving our future goals that we have set for ourselves. Our commitment to this program has paid off, and we are ready to be paramedics. Finally, thank you 93 for accepting me as your leader. It has truly been a pleasure working with all of you, and I wish you the best in your careers. Thank you and congratulations, class of 93.
All right, well, we'd like to recognize those leaders in our class. That was an important part of the academy. Again, they're volunteers and they've chosen to interview with a resume on the first day and an interview with the chief officers and other staff in the program. Tonight, we'd like to recognize these members. First off, we're going to recognize Philip Muir. He was the Company 1 captain. He stepped into that position as well as being the BC. So we're going to recognize him right now for being the Company 1 captain, Philip Muir. We'd also like to recognize Company number 3 captain, Kevin Nguyen. And we'd also like to recognize Company 4 Captain Matthew Stroop. And last but not least, we'd like to recognize the Battalion Chief for Class 93, Philip Muir. During the 16-week classroom portion, the Academy students are taking quizzes every week. Hang up there, guys. We've got one more. On many different and complex disciplines. There are major exams every 4 weeks and endless skills exams. This is all topped up by a major final exam and a major skills exam. Needless to say, it's very stressful academically. Not every student starts the academy, and not every student will finish. But these students all have finished, but there's one that's finished at the top. This student achieved an overall score of 95.36%, an achievement that is respected by me and our academy staff. The Paramedic Academy top student for the 93rd Academy is Matthew Stroop. So we had talked earlier, they had narrowed it down between 2 students here, and so who won? They were about split pretty even, but congratulations. All the students worked hard and had some significant accomplishments. So thank you for continuing to step forward academically. We would say if you were to challenge between the Fire Academy and the Paramedic Academy, the Fire Academy is physical, where the Paramedic Academy is extremely academic and very rigorous. So your hard work has definitely paid off. Could I have Chief Mozak come up to the podium?
Thank you, Chief Atkinson. Now is the time that Class 93 has been waiting for, the awarding of the Certificate of Completion.
93, attention. Left, face.
Our first paramedic student is Alan Black, field internship with Lynch Ambulance. Branston Blanco, field internship with Los Angeles City Fire Department. Christian Carrillo, field internship with Anaheim Fire Department. Andreas Kosful, field internship with American Medical Response, Rancho Cucamonga. Duran Day, field internship with Lynch Ambulance. Luke Gack, field internship with Santa Fe Springs Fire Department. Kenneth Jones, field internship with Anaheim Fire Department. Danny Coe, field internship with Los Angeles City Fire Department. Jason Larsh, field internship, American Medical Response, Rancho Cucamonga. Kevin Nguyen, field internship, Monterey Park Fire Department. Matthew Casada, field internship, American Medical Response, Redlands. Lizardo Salazar, field internship, Los Angeles City Fire Department. Amir Sarugi, field internship, San Gabriel Fire Department. Matthew Stroop, field internship, Anaheim Fire Department. Alfredo Tapia, Field Internship, American Medical Response, Redlands. Samuel Villarreal, Field Internship, Los Angeles City Fire Department.
That's my baby.
Philip Muir, Field Internship, American Medical Response, Rancho Cucamonga.
Mike 3, attention. Right, face.
Class 93, I will now administer the ceremonial oath of office. Class 93, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
Philip Muir.
Alan Black. Braxton Blanco.
Christian Carrillo.
Andreas Kostel.
Gerard Day. Luke Cat.
Kenneth Jones.
Danny Coe.
Jason Large.
Kevin DeWitt.
Nothing Soda.
Zordo Salazar. Amir Sarugi. Matt Strew. Samuel Villarreal.
do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
to do my duty as a paramedic
to do my duty as a paramedic
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
to serve my commanding officers
to serve my commanding officers
with respect and dignity,
with respect and dignity,
to serve the citizens
to serve the citizens
with compassion,
with compassion,
courage, and integrity,
courage, and integrity,
and uphold the laws and Constitution
and uphold the laws and Constitution
of the United States of America.
of the United States of America.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Class 93, congratulations. Please be seated.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster.
Well, 93, the Paramedic Academy, congratulations, and I'm extremely proud of you, what you've done over the last 10 months. Over the course of the Academy, you've endured 4 months of intense classroom training, testing, 2 months of working in a hospital, labor and delivery. Anybody deliver a baby? Cool. As well as the pediatric emergency rooms. And yes, finally, you completed 2 to 3 months of field internship with a fire department or an ambulance company. The days were long. I'm sure you thought it would never end. However, for enduring all these requirements, you should be proud. The Academy is undoubtedly an experience that you will never forget. So you may ask, where does your story start? It starts today with the graduation from the 93rd Paramedic Academy. The foundation set at this academy will be with you for the rest of your life and your career. This is the beginning of your future in emergency medical services. You are entering into a career that is steeped in duty, pride, and tradition, and in doing so, you shall have a strong sense of awareness, a sense of importance, a sense of value to yourself, your family, and your community. This is your duty. Duty is one work, task, or chore that you're expected to perform. It's answering the call and being asked to perform the tasks that challenge your physical and mental toughness under extreme conditions. It is your duty to prepare for these tasks through training and education. This is your pride. Pride is a state of being proud, a reflection of credit on yourself. Pride is feeling of a job well done by saving a life, by being part of a crew that delivers a baby, or by just being there in a person's time of need. Pride is wiping a tear from your eye and swallowing a lump in your throat as you're hugged by those who have been affected by tragedy. Pride is the glow that you will have when your loved ones brag about you being a paramedic. Pride is wearing a uniform that represents your line of work and being a member of a profession that puts others before oneself. Now this is your tradition. Tradition is the beliefs, the legends, the customs, and information from generation to generation. It is your long established or inherited way of thinking or acting in the face of danger. You must now live up to that tradition. The tradition of serving others before yourself, the tradition of service to your community, and the tradition that you have earned being a student of Paramedic Academy number 93. Be a leader by performing your duty. Have pride in your work and carry on the traditions. You now stand as a paramedic, and it is your job to go out and save lives and continue your story. You're always welcome here with us at Mount SAC. We'll continue to do our part to help you realize your goal. Please be safe in all your endeavors, and God bless to you. Paramedic 93, you are dismissed.